Regan Slaymaker for International Boxing News. And I have the pleasure to be joined by the European lightweight champion Gavin Gwynne. Gav, how are you today, mate?
Yeah, all good, but finished training for the day now. But two good sessions down, so just chill out for the rest of the day now. But nice.
Definitely, mate. Well, I do want to go into it. Obviously, you are the European lightweight champion. Obviously, last time we spoke was just before your fight with Emiliano Marsili. I mean, how do you
Yeah,
kind of reflect on picking up that title at York Hall?
yeah, it was an amazing achievement. Obviously, the fight was just I don't know, it was just one of them ones. But it's just like first couple of rounds he started well. He was fading. That was the game plan. It was like tire him out and then take him out the later rounds. 6, 7, I think it was. Started landing decent shots on him, and then he retired on his stool really. But it is what it is. Like I wanted the stoppage, but he just quit on his stool really in the end. But it is what it is. Yeah.
Was that definitely the way you thought the fight was going? Obviously, like you said, that was your plan to take him deep into the later rounds. But did it just happen earlier than what you thought it was going to?
I knew he was going to be erratic and all over the place the first couple of rounds. He caught me the first round, stumbled me. He perforated my eardrum, he did. So my senses were all off, like, and just down to my fitness. I got back within like a round. I was back normal. Obviously still with a perforated eardrum, but just carried on with the game plan, just walking him down and he was running away from me in the end. Really, he was running from one side to the other. I was trying to say to the ref, "Look, he's not in boxing. He's running away, physically running away." And the ref obviously told him, "Look, you can't go running around. You got to obviously box." And but yeah, it was going the way I wanted. As soon as I started seeing his face like change, like I think it was round 6, I started landing some big shots on him. And then he knew he couldn't hurt me. It was one of them like round 7. Then I could see him looking at his corner and going like this, shaking his head like. But yeah, it is what it is. Sometimes you have one of them fights, and styles make fights, don't it? Do you know what I mean? Obviously, he was a back foot fighter. I'm a front foot fighter, and it was just one of them. But I come through here and won the European title, and that's a massive achievement. I'm the 11th person from Wales to win the Commonwealth, British, and the European. Like so, it's a massive achievement in itself, really.
Definitely. How did it feel to kind of obviously be a part of that history of those 11 fighters to win those three? How did it feel to be a part of that?
Yeah, it's mad. Like obviously people still to this day like coming up and saying like about it and things like that. So it's a good feeling as well to be part of that sort of group of fighters. And obviously, um, putting Wales back on the boxing map. Obviously, we got Joe Cordina, who's 2-time world champion, and we got myself now, who's challenging for WBO Intercontinental title next. So pushing on for world honor. So it's for a small country, we doing pretty well. Like.
You definitely are. I mean, you touched on it there. Obviously, your next fight, mate, is. I mean, I was buzzing when I saw the fight announced. You're fighting Mark Chamberlain March the 8th, but more importantly, on the undercard of Anthony Joshua versus Francis Ngannou in Saudi
Yeah.
Arabia. I mean, I can see the smile on your face already. But how did it feel to get that fight news?
Do you know what? I didn't believe it. I found out before Christmas. Like he was like, "Oh, we got this fight out in Saudi on the AJ undercard. Do you want it?" I said, "I'll fight AJ." I didn't care, man. I was like, "That's amazing!" Like, but I didn't even care who it was. I was just like, "Yeah, that's." Do you know, as a fighter, I would have never have dreamed of fighting out there on such a massive undercard. Like, and I just can't thank obviously Leet, my manager, Frank Warren and Queensbury Promotion for giving the opportunity. Um, I just, I just got. I'm just taking it all in, like everything. I'm enjoying camp. Nobly, I'm just miserable. I'm enjoying camp. I'm happy. Do you know what I mean? Normally, I'm miserable, but everything. I don't even know how to sell tickets. it's amazing. Like what a feeling. Like just got to train and fight. It's a great feeling, and obviously doing it on a massive undercard. Like millions are going to be watching it. So really want to put in a special performance. Like
Definitely. I mean, I think we've spoken about this previously. My first time watching you, and one of my first boxing shows was you fighting Joe Cordina on the
yeah, yeah,
Lomachenko Campbell. When you lost that fight against, obviously what Joe's gone on to do now is great, but when you lost
yeah.
that fight, did you think that you would, in a couple of years' time, be fighting on another massive undercard in Saudi Arabia? I mean, your story is incredible, but at that time, did you think that you'd be fighting in Saudi Arabia?
Nah, never in a million years. Like where I've come from the small old shows where I've had to sell tickets to get on the shows, then to have an opportunity to fight on Sky Sports, live on box office, lost, then come back with a win, and then lost again to James Tennyson. I just thought, do you know what, this is probably my level. But since going full time, like I've put everything into it, and I just thought, do you know what, never gonna get them years back. Just give it all now while you're fighting. And like I said in my last interview, every fight now is a bonus. Do you know what I mean? I've done what I wanted to do in the sport, right? So every fight now is a bonus, and I'm enjoying myself as well along the way. Whereas fighters are putting too much pressure on themselves. They want to be world champion. They want to be this. If these fights come, I'm a throwback fighter. I'll fight anyone. This is probably my sixth or seventh undefeated fighter. Keep chucking them at me. The only undefeated fight I've lost to is two-time world champion. That's just, and that gives me confidence in my ability as well. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely, for sure. Obviously, like you said, you're fighting Mark Chamberlain on the card. I mean, we've spoken about him previously in the other interview where I think before
Yeah.
the fight with Marzilli, they were it was him and Sam Noakes kind of wanting the fight with you. Obviously, you are fighting Mark Chamberlain next. What do you kind of know about Mark Chamberlain? Obviously, of him coming through the ranks at the moment.
Yeah. Not a lot really. He hasn't really been tested yet, have he, at the high level. So it's hard to judge where he's at. But obviously, I think he carries power. He's a southpaw, so he's going to be tricky. But yeah, not a lot really, because you haven't really fought anyone, so it's hard to judge someone who's fought someone with a losing record. Really,
Definitely. Obviously, in
do
our
you know what I mean?
previous yes, definitely. In our previous interview, you kind of mentioned just that about when they were both talking about fighting you, and obviously you mentioned that kind of you're far too experienced for the likes of Sam Noakes and Mark Chamberlain. Where how good they are. You're far too experienced. You've been in with the likes of Joe Cordina and these massive names. Do you still think that that's the case? Your experience will be the edge in this fight.
100%. And obviously, this is my 21st or 22nd fight. Like, and I think that experience will come into play as well. I've been in these massive, obviously not as big, but I've been in massive shows. I've been in big fights. I've been in against undefeated fighters. I've been in there against hungry fighters where 6, 7 rounds, you really got to dig down, bite on your gum shield and dig in and give you your all. Like, I think that's a massive thing. And when I boxed Joe Cordina, I just didn't have that experience. And maybe James Tennyson, with his James boxed for a world title before I boxed him, like he've had that experience, sort of thing. And I think that'll be a massive factor in this fight. Obviously, Mark's going to go in there fully confident, and he's going to think, right, I'm going to blow him out with water. But when he hits me and I don't move, it's going to be a totally different story. Like.
It definitely will, and like you said, your ability to go forward and be that ability to bite down your gum shield when the times get tough is what proven why people want you on this card. And I think His Excellency
Yeah,
Turkey Al Sheikh, that's the reason why you're on the card
yeah,
as well, mate. Um,
yeah.
one of my questions are obviously about the fight as well. Obviously, after you won the title against Emiliano Marcelli, the EBU ordered you to fight
Yeah.
Yvonne Mendy, your mandatory challenger. Obviously, I don't know what will. Obviously, you mentioned the WBO Intercontinentals on the line there. Will the European be on the line as well?
No, the European won't be on the line, but I think they're going to do purse bids after the fight. I just got to go the biggest opportunities now. That obviously that was the bigger opportunity. Otherwise, like financially, it's no point me staying at European level. If I've got a bigger fight out in Saudi, it works better for me, like sort of thing, and I got to do what's best for me. So yeah, that, and if I got to fight Mendy or push on next, it is what it is. But I'm fully focused on this fight now, and that's all my focus is winning this fight. Whatever happens in after this fight, whatever happens, and like I say, I'm just so grateful of the position I'm in. Like,
No, 100%. I mean, when opportunities like this come around, it's a no brainer to fight on such a big
no,
card, especially.
exactly, yeah. Like I'd probably have to fight out in France for the European title, and like I'd have to stop him to get a win out in France. Do you know what I mean? But and he never been stopped in his life. He's tough as old boots. He's exactly like me, sort of thing. And he's busy. He's the same sort of fighter as me. Like, do you know what I mean?
Definitely. And like I said, like I said before the interview, I was buzzing when I saw that yourself was landing on that Joshua card, mate.
Yeah,
My final question, Gavin. I mean, you sort of touched on this in the interview just now, but a couple of days ago, you done an Instagram post, and I mean, you explained that kind of 4 years ago, you had a conversation with your wife, and she
yeah,
said, stop chasing money and follow your dreams." I mean, it's been 4 years, Welsh champion, British champion, Commonwealth champion, European champion, and now fighting on the AJ undercard in Saudi Arabia. I mean, reflect on that journey from that conversation with your wife, mate, and then to now. It's a bit special.
yeah. It is like it should be a movie made about me or something. Like, do you know what I mean? It's like it's the Cinderella story sort of thing. Like, don't get me wrong, it was hard. No, the first 2 years, I was literally, I didn't have two pence to rub together. Like I was working on like the weekends doing bits and bobs, obbles, like trying to get that extra bit of cash in. My missus doing overtime in work just to get money, so I didn't have to stress about working and things like that. But we just kept that. It kept that there, and obviously it's just all starting to pay off now. And yeah, I'm just thankful that she gave me the opportunity really to give up work, because not many women out there would do that. Like, and yeah, it was times that we were struggling to pay the mortgage on our house and things like that. But one thing, um, like I always get enough money for my boy. If he'd want anything, I'd always make sure it was enough money for him. Like, do you know what I mean? But it was tough. I'm not gonna lie, and I think that gives me that grit. Knowing I'm in there for 12 rounds and it's a hard fight sort of thing, that gives me that grit. I don't want to go back to that. Do you know what I mean? I want to keep pushing on now and just prove everyone wrong, because there's so many doubters out there just keep doubting me and doubting me and doubting me, and I just want to keep proving them wrong. Do you know what I mean?
Definitely. I mean, if with the wins keep coming, may the doubters keep coming, mate, because you keep
Yeah.
proving those guys wrong. And I mean, like you said, I mean, I don't know who's going to play you in that movie, Gav, but I feel like it'd be some watch as well, mate. But mate,
You'd have to
Gavin,
be some good looking guy, that.
I mean, I dread to think the guy who plays Joe Cordina in a movie about him. They'll have to find someone as well. But no, Gavin Gwynne, that was my final question, mate. Thank you very much for your time today, and
Thank
best of
you.
luck on March 8th.
Nice one. Cheers, bud. Thank you very
Cheers,
much.
mate.
Thank
Take care.
you.